Hello and welcome to my first and hopefully one of my last base design videos, because I'm not really too good at making bases, but there were many requests to make a base tutorial on the base I've made in my last couple videos, and I'm gonna show you guys how to make it. So the first step is pretty simple, of course, as always. We're gonna start off with stone, square and triangle foundation. Just like so. TC in the corner, behind the window. Just like this. And then of course your double door will go on here. And then, once you have this part down, you're going to expand out with a square, and then 3 triangles on this side for the bunker. And now you're kind of stuck in your own base. So, what I like to do is craft a hobo barrel. Let's put myself one in. To place right here, but first we must do the half walls. And now we have a little chute into our base, where our hobo barrel will go right here. Perfect. Alright, and now it's time for our third step. Our third part of the base will be done. Starting off with some honeycomb, right here. Alright, now we're going to expand out just like this. And this spot right here will be where our furnaces go. On these corners here, so when you jump up, you'll have plenty of small places to cook. And now we are on our roof, and now we need to make our jump up. So first again, stand some more honeycomb. Alright, and now we have our jump up. Alright, so now we have our base somewhat secure now for a smallish group. What I like to do is remove the door, come to the outside part of the base, place a foundation, half wall, and then a triangle, so that we can build through the wall in order to place a square floor. And this is where we do our ramps inside the base. These ramps are perfect for your base because they essentially act as honeycomb. So when a raider blows through a wall from the outside and there are ramps in the way, they are forced to blow the ramps as well to go through, because you cannot get yourself through the gap. So raiders are forced to blow the ramp as well. Also, make sure to try and upgrade these ramps early on, because they can be hard to upgrade later into the wipe when you've got boxes placed on them. And there we go. This will be our main loot room, so this will be the place you store your rockets, boom, sulfur, GP, guns, all the good stuff you want to keep hidden away. And of course for our TC we need a glass window, or now called reinforced window. And then we're going to upgrade our core part of the base to sheet metal as soon as possible. Oops. And of course make sure to make the bunker walls at least sheet metal or armored if possible. The best way, in my opinion, to get sheet metal and high qual is to run labs or train tunnels. Just make sure these are all graded nicely. I apologize about that, I had a slight audio issue, but now it should be fine. And of course make sure the ceilings are upgraded to armored or at least sheet metal. Alright, so now we have our 2x1, pretty simple setup so far, nothing too special about it. But of course, as every 2x1 needs, we're going to add some more honeycomb. And then now from the core, this is how you make your bunker. Make sure these are both armored. Place a half wall and a triangle floor frame. Just like so. Upgrade these walls to sheet metal and add a triangle frame above, where we'll have our triangle ladder hatch. Just like so. And that is how the bunker works, pretty simple stuff. And then once the triangle twig is broken, it completely seals the bunker, making it very expensive to blow through for raiders. And in these gaps, add some furnaces. Nice and simple stuff. Leading to our core, where we'll have a bed. Or bags, whatever you choose. Bags work too, of course. Alright, and now as you can see, the base footprint is currently somewhat symmetrical. The side is missing a square, which we will add right now. And this I like to have as a secret drop-down locker kit room, so we're going to leave the top part open, just like this, with a floor frame. And then on this side, eventually, we'll do the exact same, but first we need to add our gatehouse. Simple again, pretty simple airlock. And also, this design is first created by Spinky on YouTube, but I've made some little changes to my own version to make it appeal to me personally. And I think that is one like unspoken rule in Rust like base building, like never copy a base directly, like always tune it to your own desire, you know? Never just completely copy a base. Alright, this part right here will also be honeycomb. Honeycomb all this. And then this right here will be our jump up. And on this slot, we'll add our space for depot boxes. And then again, the exact same thing on this side. Floor frame. Next thing to do is to add some garage doors, because of course the base will not be strong enough just with these normal sheet doors alone, so try and place garage doors wherever you can. Me personally, I place them everywhere possible. Alright, so now your doors are all added on the second floor. We are now able to work on our externals. Playing solo or small group, it is vital to make sure your base is ungriefable, and that is why making externals earlier on is much better than doing it later on. Square, triangle, parallel with the corner of a honeycomb. 2 squares, another triangle, demolish the ones coming back to the base, build back. The square, and then the diamond. Demolish these going back as well. Alright, and then same again. 1, 2, 3. 2 triangles. Place our TC. Beautiful. Demolish these squares. Upgrade the diamond. And the compound peak. Place out the triangle. Half wall. Followed by a low wall. Wall frame. Hard floor. And then our floor frame. Connecting to our external. Just like so. Alright, for now we're going to place a square, triangle, square, triangle, which will have our twig parallel with the corner of our honeycomb. We're going to place out 1, 2 squares and 1 triangle back out, demolish the ones going towards the base, and then build back with triangles to the base, just like this. And then on the right side of the triangle pointing to the corner of the honeycomb, we're going to place a square and then a diamond from triangles, and then demolish the foundies once again. And then place out 1, 2, 3, and then 2 triangles for our external. That's a window. And then demolish the squares going back to the base. Alright, and then again, upgrade all this. Make sure you attach them with frames, otherwise they'll decay. Half wall, followed by a low wall. Frame on the jump up with a hard floor, connected by a floor frame to the external. Okay, so now we have 2 externals, and this can easily prevent us early game from being griefed by a salty clan who you've pissed off, which is normally how it goes for me. Just make sure early on the game, early in the wipe, before you get griefed, you place down these externals, otherwise your life will be very, very hard. Alright, and now it's time to work on the wide gap some more. Simple stuff, gonna do a square, triangle, 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 square, triangle, triangle. Now that is quite hard to follow the first time doing it, so I'm going to leave it twig so you can see the pattern, but upgrade these few. Just like this. Which leaves us with a clear pattern for the wide gap. If you need to pause the video watching 0.25 speed, do not be ashamed. You know, I am also a noob builder. I am nothing special. I'm going to say this a few times because I'm no builder, guys. I've just been requested to build this base of mine. I've tweaked from Spinky, and this wide gap is from his base design video, so go check it out. And again, we'll do the exact same thing on this side. Square, triangle, 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 square, triangle, triangle. Upgrading the ones we need, leaving the ones we don't twig. And as you can see there, it is symmetrical. Well, I've missed the frames, but more or less symmetrical. And of course, with building like this, it takes a few tries to get used to it, you know, to learn the exact footprint. This took me personally, I'd say 3 times building the base to learn the wide gap and all the footprints, so it wasn't too difficult to get in my brain. Alright, now you guys have learned all this. Let's demolish the twig to make it look very nice. Alright, now to do the exact same thing on the other external. Square, triangle, 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 square, triangle, triangle. Sorry. Very nice. Also make sure you place frames connecting them on each side. We'll need this for stability later on. Okay, and same again. Square, triangle, 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 square, triangle, triangle. Upgrade the ones we need, leave the ones twig that we don't, and demolish them later. Okay. Alright, as you can see, now the base is coming along rather nicely. We have our priv extended out across the entire base now, so once again, if you do get raided, they cannot seal, so get back in your base fast and defend. Alright, now once again, going back to the wide gap, we're going to place a half wall. 2 half walls on both of these sides of the base. And then place a window looking outwards. This will be our shooting floor. And on the other parts of the wide gap, I'm just going to place more frames. And then on the inside, below where we just placed a half wall, is going to place windows without half walls. Sorry, my throat. Okay. So now from our roof, we have a rather empty looking wide gap peaks. But to make it look full and healthy, it's pretty simple to do. But first, we must do the exact same thing on the other side. So this time from above, we're going to do wall frames. And on these ones, we're going to do a half wall with a window. Go back to the roof. Same again. Wall frame on this corner. Half wall. And then a window. And then beautiful. Same again on the inside. Gonna do windows facing inwards to our base. It's very hard to speak whilst building for me. I'm not very used to this, so bear with me if I sound weird, if I stutter. It's quite hard to build and think, so I am also building from memory as well myself. Alright, now it's time to fill in the gaps, make it look healthy. Floor there. We're gonna have triangles right here, so we can peek into our base as well as having a nice shooting floor. A square here for the wide gap. Make sure you're actually building on the wide gap and not the main part of your base, otherwise this wide gap will be rather pointless. So, for example, don't do this. I mean, you could do this, but it's not worth having the wide gap, really, at that point. Again, the same on this side. Alright, now time for some more windows. Upgrade all these. Very, very nice. Plenty of space, plenty of room, plenty of space to breathe in your shooting floor. Okay, so now we have a rather open shooting floor and a very, very lovely base for a small group or a solo player. But I must say, farming this solo can be quite difficult at times, but I would say it is worth it in the long run because this base is super, super sick. And if you do get raided, it is very, very fun to defend in. But sadly, me personally, I'm yet to defend a raid in this. No one's had the balls to raid me yet. But hopefully you guys can make this for yourself. And if you do get raided, you know, give me a tweet of your raid defense video, and I'd love to see some sick defenses in this base. Okay. Floor frame right above, and simple, just triangle doorway, airlock thingy. And then this right here will be our jump up. Wall here, and I'm going to leave the triangle here open on each side because these can be where we put our lockers. I'll show you exactly right now how I place those. So these lockers squeeze in these triangles perfectly, and you can also fill them in with windows. So when you log off for the night, your kits will be safe and sound. Of course, the bed will go next to them, or 2 or 3 beds if you're playing in a group. You can squeeze in quite a few here. Wouldn't be a problem for a 4-man, honestly. Alright, so this is one way of doing your bedroom, but me personally, I enjoy having my way out into the shooting floor right here. So, for me personally, I like adding doors where it's more accessible. But for you, maybe you want the base stronger to prevent offlines, but I'm more of an online kind of guy. You know, if you're offline to begin with, you know, that's your own fault, so who sleeps, right? So personally for me, I enjoy having this doorway here into the shooting floor, but many people can of course have a wall there. And I'll say this again, make sure that you customize the space for your own. Don't just copy it step by step from what I've done. You know, customize it, change it to your liking, bend it, mold it, do whatever you want. But this for me, this works for me. Alright, so now we are in the shooting floor. We're gonna work on these little drop downs for now. Gonna make sure a frame is placed on each of them. This will help with base stability. Gonna place a triangle above them. These corner peaks are important because eventually the turrets will be hidden above these. And of course, being solo or small group, turrets are very much needed. Okay, so now these are all stabilityed up. It's time to work on the stability of the main base. So place frames off the main part of the base, not the wide gap. You're gonna want frames all across here. From the main base, make sure it's off the main base and not the wide gap. Very, very nice. There we go. Alright, and now going back to these drop-down triangles again. We're going to add a large wall, window, and single doorway. This can act as a peek up into the roof. You can have also a locker kit in the back corner, but it's risky, of course, for being looted. But, you know, me being me, I do enjoy having lockers spammed everywhere in my base. In case the raid will eventually one day come. Copium. Now for these, of course, we're going to add some single doors. And then, as well, adding some vertical embrasures. Now that we have these embrasures on us, we might as well place them on our shooting floor. Make sure they're placed below as well. In these window peaks. You're going to place them from below on the outside, you can't place them on the inside. Alright, so now our base is looking pretty chunky. I've somehow missed a side, because I've got dementia. Alright, and now it's time to fill in our roof. Building off the core of the base, do not build off the wide gap. We do not want that to happen, that will not be fun. Alright, and there we go, we have our roof access, and now would be a good time to add in our square ladder hatches to our secret locker kit, or loot room, right below, and then going to the roof as well. Same again, hatch, and hatch. Beautiful. So, now we have space for a bed, or a locker, or even just a loot room would work here, like a secret little bunker. One thing as well to add below the shooting floor is some more stability. Just one simple triangle off the square will add some more control and strength to our base. So when you do the exact same thing on both sides. And there we go. So far our base is looking very, very nice. Now in these gaps I would recommend placing siren lights, just in case a little rat like Alone Tokyo will end up in your base. It can make their life a lot harder, trying to rat inside or soft side anything. It also makes it much smoother to run and move around the base. Alright, now that we are on our roof, I appear to have missed some triangles, it's time to work on the roof. So, starting off with these triangles, where we would then eventually place our turrets, which I will not be wiring, purely because it's a bit of a pain and I'm feeling a bit lazy, but I'm sure you can learn how to wire turrets yourselves from different tutorials on Rust YouTube. But anyway, this is where I would place them. The triangle roofs act as cover, and it makes it harder for raiders to blow your turrets with HVs. Perfect, and now we have 4 turrets covering our roof, and we have multiple ways to our roof as well, which can make it much easier to defend with the roof just like this. Again, same thing, a simple triangle airlock. And a double door for ease of closing and for peeking. Alright, and now we have multiple ways to peek down from our roof. Oh, I've just accidentally demolished the wall. What the hell are these binds, man? Fix the binds, you can. Alright, I'm scared to reload my gun, but... Alright. So here we have our roof with multiple ways to peek from the roof and roof camp. Hopefully you guys don't use this to roof camp, but I guess you could roof camp. Wind turbines. Can go anywhere along any of these frames, you know, it's not too hard to work out. Watch tutorials. I will not be doing it on this video because it'll take too much time and too much effort and too much work for my brain. Alright, but now will be a good time to work on the compound. But before that, we must work on our gatehouses. And I'm going to place them on an external TC. Starting off from a square. I'm gonna build out 1, 2, 3. 2 triangles for external. Oh, if I can place it. It looks a bit tough one. You managed it. Beautiful stuff, beautiful stuff. And then demolish these squares. And this right here will be our gatehouse. And then of course, build your floor frames connecting to the external and the gatehouse. Now me personally, in my gatehouses, I enjoy having vertical embrasures. And then honestly, maybe even a bed. If it's not too awkward in the way. This one's pretty easy. So you can spawn in potentially in raids and defend your base. Now we're going to make the exact same gatehouse on the other side of our base. Right here. Window each side. Wall frame. Doors on each side and embrasures. Just like so. And now for our TC. 1, 2, 3. Triangle, triangle. Place that bitch down. Half walls. Windows, and then again, demolish the twig. Place the floor frames. Connecting to our external. Alright. Now we have the base pretty much done. I'm going to add our walls now for the compound. Make sure you place them in the middle of the embrasure. That way, the embrasures are still useful to peek in and out of the compound. As you can see, there's some pretty tight gaps right here to peek through, which can be very beneficial when you're trying to win a raid defense. Now, me being a numpty and a bit of an idiot, I've made a mistake, actually. Before you place the compound walls, you must make sure you place the barricades. Otherwise, these walls will be completely useless, because grubs can just hop in your base. But luckily for me, I can place them no matter what, because the walls haven't affected the placements. And yeah, that pretty much concludes this base design. I'm gonna do a quick tour of the base for you guys. That sums up this base, at least for what I can show you guys. The rest is up to you. Of course, again, in compound, the compound would need turrets, but you guys can place turrets according to what you would believe is the best place for them to go. If you want to see where I'd place them, I might as well show you actually whilst I'm here. I would simply just build out like this and have them in the corners facing inwards to the base. Have one here facing inwards to the base, but it's going to be awkward at these refineries now, but again, I'd have it here facing into the base. And then the same again on each side. That's that, guys. Hopefully you enjoy the base design. Hopefully I see it on some servers, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. See you then.